Hello, everybody. It's time for another episode of Headlines, DayOne's twice weekly show that covers all the latest and greatest across the video game industry. Today is March 12th, if you can believe it, already March 12th, 2026. I'm your host once again for this week, Aarsal, and joining me in the production hot seat, as always, is Jesse. How's your morning been, Jesse?
I woke up at 5:45 and knew I wasn't going to fall back asleep. But it's been that a lot lately. My body seems to just be like, you got about 6 to 7 hours of sleep, you're good.
Yeah. I got. Do you try and get some sleep in the day too, or is it more like?
That was only I think it was yesterday when I woke up at 3 a.m.
Oof, yeah.
And couldn't fall back asleep after like 2.5 hours of sleep. At which point, I had to take a nap.
All right. Okay. There's been some interesting stuff released in only 2 days, which we knew technically because GDC is going full steam ahead. In fact, chances are throughout the day there will be more and more news coming up as it goes. But for now, we already have a lot. Before we dive into it, we have a few things first. John's Toxic Commando review came out, and if you haven't looked at it, go ahead and watch it for sure, especially the first 2 minutes. He really outdid himself with the intro, I thought. And made me want to get the soundtrack for this game because it sounded incredible. Like, friggin'. I think he liked the game as well, a fair bit.
It's good, dumb fun is essentially what I took from it. Not like a brilliant game, but it's a saber. So it's taken like World War Z tech, Space Marine 2 tech, like their swarm engine, so it can go big and nuts and crazy while looking real good and running well. It's just a big, dumb, fun co-op shooter.
Shoot zombies with your friends. I mean, there's a ton of people that like that. That's a genre. So, and good morning, everyone. If you're in the Western Hemisphere.
Good, whatever time of day it is for you.
Yes. We also have Genghis's Fatal Frame 2 Crimson Butterfly remake review coming out. Remake, yeah, not gonna lie, the full title kind of confused me a bit because of the Crimson and another game that is coming out soon with the Crimson in the title.
Never heard of it.
Actually, I didn't check this. How did Genghis like this? I know he played the original, right?
8. He enjoyed it, even though he hates horror. So he didn't like the horror, but he thinks it's a well done remake.
I remember I did his video for the first Fatal Frame remake, I think, and it looked pretty interesting. And then I went to check the price, and I was like, it's $80, $60. And I'm like, nah, I'm good.
That's not bad. I keep seeing people like with the Crimson Desert launch trailer hitting because the game is real. It is coming.
Yep.
We'll have a review on the 18th from me. People are like, I'll wait for sale. I'm like, I get why. There's enough games, but if you do really want something, wait for reviews, see how it is, see how if you have to follow streamers, see how they like it, and then full price is the way to support devs if you want to.
This is one of like the few games coming out this year that I'm considering buying full price. If like I really check the reviews out and I'm like, you know what, that vibes with me, just because I know
you'd get it on your Xbox and your PC. It is a Play Anywhere title.
That is true. It is a Play Anywhere title, which is kind of really nice for these really big games that are going to take hundreds of hours, or at least dozens of hours to complete. But, I just realized our new website has the score on the thing. It's very nice on the thumbnail. It's really cool. I like that. Kind of like reduces the value of the score too a bit, where it's like, hey, here's a score, and I click the damn thing and read the review. I like that. Oh, and he has some Japanese in the beginning. Oh, I know this. Okame? No, dang it, I don't. Whatever.
Wow.
I'm still getting there. Okay, and finally, last but not least, and this is on me, actually. Fairy finished his marathon review just yesterday, and I will be making the video potentially right after this because I need to head out to my parents. But otherwise, maybe later tonight. The review should come out tomorrow or this weekend. No spoilers on the review, even though it's technically no embargo or nothing. Just keep an eye out on the site to see what we thought of Bungie's latest and greatest. Well, maybe not greatest, but latest game.
I would say they haven't been great for a while, unfortunately.
Yeah. I still really love the first Destiny as like this great experience you can just go back to with a couple friends.
Destiny from Taken King through Rise of Iron was great.
Yeah. 100%. Okay. And now we get on to the big potatoes. So just yesterday, Microsoft started their GDC conferences where Kat and John currently are physically. They started off with a keynote. I think that was titled what? The future, or help join us as we build the future of Xbox, something like that.
Building for the future of Xbox. The
Building
keynote for the
Xbox.
Xbox Developer Summit at GDC.
Yeah.
I didn't put the whole thing in the title because it's very long.
Quick disclaimer. GDC stands for Game Developer Conference.
And the full name is GDC Festival of Gaming now. You're not allowed to just say GDC.
Wait, really?
They get very annoyed. Yes.
Really?
If you look at this lovely video shot by one Catherine Morton.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's GDC Festival of Gaming this year. When I did the initial news post, they did remind me and ask me, hey, whenever you put GDC, you got to put Festival of Gaming if you wouldn't mind, please. I was like, sure.
Interesting. Well, the GDC Festival of Gaming is for developers first and foremost. In other words, I saw this one post talking about like, I don't really care about all these acronyms and stuff. Why do they keep mentioning it? And I'm like, dude, it's not for you.
Yeah,
these acronyms are important for the workforce.
The keynote he knew was, I think they knew the keynote was what everyone was going to focus on.
Yeah.
So it was a little less nerd talk heavy, but like when you look at the slides and everything, they were extremely for developers. Like this is a conference for people to learn what studios and devs and publishers and everyone are doing, talk to each other, make deals, do this type of thing, because that used to be what E3 was supposed to be. And then that kind of shifted to being more public.
For example, John being there right now, a big part of it is trying to find help or funding for the game we're trying to make, right? Mm-hmm. It's a relatively important part of the event.
Yeah, like Insider Gaming's having their whole big thing where they're going to be, I think they're recording a bunch of stuff with devs and now for when they do their indie showcase. We're trying to help indie devs
smart.
Find funding, which no one else will cover because they're snobs.
Yeah, seriously, right? Irritating. But yeah, so if you haven't already, the lovely Kat recorded roughly 30 minutes, essentially the entire opening keynote. Or presentation, I should say, because the keynote was there, but it wasn't too much there. And you can find those keynotes, the images in random places, of Jason Ronald, head of Xbox hardware. I know his title is a little more fancier than that.
Next generation.
Head of Xbox Next
He's
Generation.
He's the VP of Next Gen, I believe is what his title is.
Oh, that's a fancy title.
Yep.
He had a 30 or so minute talk talking about the future of Xbox. It's worth giving it a listen to for sure. The camp video is well recorded. The audio is actually really well done, surprisingly.
Yeah, thankfully with the
dedicated
microphone he had, it was booming everywhere. So
yeah. I just listened to it myself earlier this morning at 6 a.m., half asleep. So I don't necessarily fully remember it, but it was good. Let's go through the highlights of it though. So the main thing that we talked about, of course, is that Helix is going to be kind of bridging the gaps, fusing the gap. How do I phrase this?
It's essentially finally moving away from having bespoke console and PC development environments. So a lot of people are like, oh, it's just a PC. It's like, no, they're making PC Xbox. Like they're doing their best to make PC work like console, instead of having them be different things. Their big sales pitch, and there was another talk that was focused on bringing your games to Xbox in a day and all that type of stuff.
Yes. That was also yesterday too, I believe, right?
Yeah, I figure we'll talk about it all at the same time.
Yes, 100%. Let's do
like a big part of it is you make your game once using PlayFab. If you use PlayFab Foundation, it is free as long as you release a game on Xbox, and PlayFab works everywhere, and that's been the case for a while. So like PlayFab gets your game up and running with a back end for cross-play and cross-save and multiplayer servers and all that stuff and more on Xbox, PlayStation, Switch, every PC store. I think like it's just there, and so I think that is the big incentive selling point for getting everyone to keep making Xbox games, because you make one game, you don't have to make a console version, you don't have to make a PC version, you make your game, and then it should, and it's a big should, it should work everywhere, essentially.
Yeah, There was a slide I saw. I'm not sure whether it's from this GDC or earlier, but they're basically saying Xbox Play Anywhere games, people play longer, more than 2.2 times longer, and they purchase more than 2.1 times more purchase for these games, which makes sense. If you can play the game more, I've played Silksong on like 4 different devices when I was reviewing it, right? Like, well, 3, no, 4, my phone a little bit too. Yeah,
well, and part of their thing is you don't have to pay for cloud saves. They're still the only one for the console side of things where you don't have to pay for it.
Yep. It's seamless, right? That's the whole point. If it wasn't seamless, this wouldn't be... This Play Anywhere itself is kind of built on the back of us opening up our Xbox One and being like, oh, wow, my Oblivion save is still here. Right? Like, what the heck? I played
and
this.
That did used to require having gold for your save, and like 360 and stuff still does, or at least still did. And then it had to be on your account too. It couldn't just be there's an account that has gold on this Xbox One, so everyone gets gold that they move to.
Yep. Nick was always wondering, what's the point? Why would you develop for Xbox console, Xbox PC, whatever, right? And it's because it's easy. They're making it seem as easy as it can be, right? And B, there are clear benefits to doing so, right? In terms of your game.
There are also stated benefits. We'll have to see.
Stated benefits.
Yeah, we'll have to see how it goes. How is there...
But you know what, Jesse? It's like you mentioned earlier, games need to sell at launch, right? For the publisher to recoup their costs. Something like Play Anywhere is just another big selling point for buying at launch, rather than waiting for sale. It's like, you know what? Okay, sure. I'll be able to play my Xbox or my PC or my phone or whatever the hell I have. Sure, I'll get it. You know what I mean? Like it provides a little bit more incentive. Because sales are one thing. But anyways, okay, there are some more stuff. I have there's this tweet by Jack Hugh, who I imagine works at AMD. Let me quickly check his title really quick. He's
a big boy at AMD.
SVP and GM Computing and Graphics. AMD, yeah, definitely a big boy. Okay. But basically, a couple of things he mentioned in his tweet, because it looks pretty interesting, is that we're super excited to unveil AMD FSR Diamond, designed to be natively optimized for Project Helix and deeply integrated into the GDC, which is Game Developer Kit. Built for next-gen neural rendering, next-gen machine...
People will call you out. GDK game.
GDK. What did I say?
GDC.
Oh, I said my bad. I think in my head I was thinking key. Anyways, GDK, built for next-gen neural rendering, built a next-gen ML-based upscaling, new ML, meaning machine learning-based multi-frame generation, next-gen ray generation for ray tracing and path tracing. Basically, he says FSR Diamond opens up a new dimension of innovation. It does sound very corporate-y in terms of these words.
It's essentially FSR 5. Which is funny because Amethyst, the PlayStation pisser one, is 4. So, and if the PlayStation 5, PlayStation 6 does not have NPU in it, it wouldn't get these features.
Exactly. Which I'm really curious if Sony's pushing for that. You'd think Cerny definitely would be, right? Because you can see the writing on the wall regarding these upscalers.
Yeah, I mean, they obviously AMD's biggest freaking customer is Sony. The amount of PlayStations they pump out. So they will know. I guess it'll just come down to what are the costs, because I think
100%.
Very much, I don't think Microsoft's going to go insane with the costs on because the specs on this from that are leaked are very good, but they're mid-range for next gen. They're just upper range for this gen.
You think it would be 1200? Like within 1200?
No, I think they're going to go. I think they're going to try and stay
under 1,000.
Yeah.
Damn.
They're pitching this as a console. They're not pitching this as it can do the other stuff, but this is an Xbox console as we'll get into the next story after this.
Yeah.
But I do think their aims, and Jez had talked about it before, anywhere from $800 to $2,000 between the, trying to give you a choice.
Yeah.
The entry Series S equivalent is actually now the Series X equivalent, but then there's a 6090.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah, because last gen, or this current gen, this was equivalent to a 2070.
Yes.
And the PS5 was equivalent to a 2060 Ti? It was like a 6700 XT. They were lower mid-range because you have 2080 and but then at that point we already had the 3090 and the 3080 and they were just way more. I think this will be equivalent to the the specs are essentially like 5080-ish level raster and 5090 level ray tracing, because their ray tracing's way better.
Yeah, they're really jumping into that again.
But we'd probably have
should be excited.
We'd have 6080 and 6090. So the expensive ass version might be equivalent to those.
That makes sense. So you're thinking they'll do the 2 SKU right away.
That's what Jez had talked about for a while. Whether it happens or not, I have no idea.
Yes.
But when you look at this, they said consoles during his presentation. They didn't say console. They said next gen consoles.
Yeah. Wait. Yeah, they did, right? They actually use the word consoles now, finally.
Consoles. That's not a hard guarantee, because that's not technically saying there's going to be multiple, but all the reporting from Jez in the past had been that, unless it's changed or something.
Yeah. And to be fair, even with like the Series S, and they didn't talk about it at all until they came out.
The big thing would be the Series X equivalent would be the big thing they really push. Then a more expensive box would obviously be niche. But
that would make a lot of sense. Build like a mid-range box, and then for those who really want it, like myself, give me like a $1,500-$1,600 box.
Yeah, and you don't have to. If it is you're building one game, that scales for everything. That scales for your shittiest PC to your most powerful PC. So you would think unlike the Series S environment, you don't have to work down, which is a pain in the butt.
Yeah,
I think this next upcoming generation, with the way they talked about stuff, the big focus seems to really be, we need to make this as easy as possible for developers so that they will get all their games over here. They will use our services, and we will have almost everything.
When I think about it, the Series S, right, was clearly there for being that low barrier of entry console, right? And in theory, it made a lot of sense. I thought for sure it'd do pretty well. In practice, I don't know how it is these days, but at least initially, it was the Series X outselling it considerably, right? Which makes sense. It was a core crowd. Maybe they saw the Series S never really take off the way they expected it to, and went, you know what? Let's just build like a core box for our core users, and then go above that for the ones who really wanted, rather than going below again.
The Series S did pretty well until it became too hard to keep losing money on it, I think.
Yeah, that's the other. Yeah, you're right. That's the other problem. And now with the PlayStation 5 so close, and the price been going back up, and GTA 6 being delayed so many times. Yeah, that was really, I feel like, the big selling point of the Series S was if GTA 6 came out, 24 when it was supposed to, or whatever the hell it was, and the Series S was like $150, $200 cheaper than the latest equivalent, it would have probably helped a fair bit. But hey, it is what it is.
And their future thing will definitely... There is a big thing about back compat that I keep seeing people in chat talk about, where it's like,
so I was going to mention, I missed the most important line of his tweet, which for some reason I can't pull up. But basically, they say that this is a multi-year partnership that will also help with multi-year deep co-engineering partnership driving next-gen performance, breakthrough graphics, and compatibility with your existing Xbox game library. So let's talk about that, Jesse. Because to be honest, the wording on this, not for that, but like Jason stuff and stuff, it's a little confusing to me. Let's go through this.
There's rumors coming from old reliable Nate the Hate, who's saying the thing that Jez has talked about, where they are looking into getting your back compat games to work on PC.
That is what they're getting towards, right? Because that's basically what I got out of it, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah, no, that's been a long time. Like the original Xbox and 360 stuff. How can they make that work on PC, especially without letting it get easily hacked? Because they could have it work. I'm sure they could have it work in a day, but it's going to be there on PC, and people will hack it. And that's always one of the hard things with they have not been hacked, because they've got hardware on this and last gen that has essentially made it incredibly difficult to break into. So it will be interesting. Is it, as some people in chat have guessed, is it a cloud-based thing for it? I think technically you already can kind of do that with the things.
Yeah, you can do a cloud thing right now. If you can, well, not for every game though, right?
No, but and people, I see people on Reddit being like, well, if they can get every game in the library, then it'll finally be worth it. It's like, the things that are back compat are the things they got the licensing for. They can't get the licensing for other things half the time when talking with people. You don't know who even owns the license for some games. It's so
Jesse, what about GTA 6? Let's say GTA 6 comes out this year, and let's say by the time it comes out, they've just started experimenting with playing your Xbox games on Windows.
I don't think any of it comes out until next year. I don't think any.
Right, that's what I'm thinking. Right, that's the only thing coming out this year is their Xbox mode, which I'm pretty sure is just a renamed FSE for Windows 11.
It is a renamed FSE. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
And supposedly a
experience for
new
those
controller, but I imagine they might wait for it next gen. Who knows?
Wait. We got controller leaks?
No, there was just there was old
dang.
ones where they were like the only hardware that might come this year is a controller.
Interesting. I know Jason had this one pretty interesting thing he mentioned too, where he kind of hinted towards potentially quick resume coming to.
I don't know if it was quick resume or if it was the fact that you get your cross save so you can jump between.
Yeah, that's what I wasn't sure about. Because I can't imagine quick resume working like across multiple devices. That
no,
seems
I think
a
quick
little,
resume
little
would
crazy
still
to me.
only work on an Xbox.
Right.
Because also across multiple devices, you have to upload 4 to
the RAM
12
state,
gigs of RAM.
right?
Like
Exactly.
RAM state, like it'd be
unless
insane if it's
they
local network.
somehow.
Because most people don't have great upload. Even if you have like gigabit, it's still a while to upload a RAM state.
That's the crazy part. This is working like with Xbox being so American centric, right? Like, and then being so network focused. It kind of sucks that America's network infrastructure is still terrible across the board.
Yeah,
like,
well, we had a ridiculous amount of money to put into it. We gave it to all the companies, and all the companies said, "Nope, thanks for the money." You can look it up.
Yeah, no, this is definitely not quick resume. It's talking about cross saves, which makes perfect sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, yeah. It'd be cool though if they
quick
could do it.
resume would be a new console only thing, I would imagine. If
Yeah. So Jesse, if you had to put it in 1 or 2 sentences, what's the biggest thing you got out of Jason's keynote? Would you say?
The reasoning for the MPU,
Okay.
where it's a
Which you
mix
talking about all
of so because they were going to do one, and it was funny. Like yesterday morning, I think Rich from Digital Foundry wrote a thing saying like, "What are they going to use it for?" I don't think it's great for the GPU's better at doing the upscaling stuff more with less latency, and it's like. They have very specific upscaling stuff for FSR5, and they have very specific like storage reading stuff with it. Actual functionality for it, because there's an MPU on this, and its main thing is going to be the auto super resolution, which he also mentioned some people are testing.
Interesting.
Yeah, which I
guess we should mention that they gave a bit of a timeline where he says that in 2027, I think he said early 2027. I wasn't sure exactly.
Yeah.
Developers will get access to, or some developers will get access to
Alpha.
GDKs.
Yeah, which is
or alphas. Yeah.
The same time frame as the series consoles and everything, because the actual hardware isn't ready to build yet for AMD.
Does that mean 28? You're thinking for a launch, or you think they can still make 27?
They're
right.
They're both targeting 2027 holiday.
Okay, nice. Good.
The only reason
Exciting times.
the only reason I think PlayStation could ever delay is component issues. That's not a thing really for Microsoft. And delays don't help us because it would just be older hardware coming out later. But yeah, no, it's the similar timeline, but like you can't actually have the kit to send to people out until your partner is ready to build it. And they've been stating for a while at AMD that they will be ready to make RDNA 5 available for sale second half of 2027, which means, it's
I was talking to someone about all this, and I'm like, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter what they talk about, how it works, just that. What matters to me is that it just does, right? Just when you're ready to show it to the consumer, just be like, hey, this is it. It works like this. Awesome, cool, great. That's all I really need to know, Yep.
And that's the big thing. That is their big, the thing Jez talked about. The only thing that could delay it on Xbox's side is if they don't have Windows ready, like to just feel like an Xbox.
That's why they've released the FSE experience way earlier, right? Like half a year ago or so, and they've been working on it steadily the entire time. They knew this would take time. It was
very much it's not an OS. Like they're going to have an OS for Xbox, but the FSE is like a proof of concept, I think, for where they want the OS to end up. Looking and feeling wise, and we're still early days on Xbox mode, lowercase m, but people keep putting like Xbox mode with the big M, and Tom Warren was making sure to correct them. Lowercase m, if you're right about it.
Okay, moving on to the next news. Someone noticed that This Is an Xbox campaign has kind of been quietly erased from the internet. A lot of the links that would go there are dead links now. The pages have been removed.
The YouTube videos were there, but all the Xbox Wire stuff was just
Yeah, they've kind of quietly, what's the word, resigned or no?
Retired
the This is an Xbox campaign, which makes sense. Jesse, you mentioned earlier in the Discord too, where it was clearly too soon, right?
Like eventually you can have that, but you have to have your box. That's the heart of it. And then that experience carries everywhere, and the experience doesn't carry everywhere yet.
Yeah, exactly. And cloud is not big enough yet to really push the whole, hey, this is an Xbox, so you can play your games to cloud yet. It's not.
Yeah, most games just look like shit on a phone. They're not built for it, and they're not built for 10-minute experiences. Like when people are playing phone games, they are things they can pick up. You can do one, like you can play for 30 seconds and feel like you got something done, or you can play for 10 minutes, but not, I have to sit here and I got to wait for a checkpoint at this cutscene as I'm trying to look and hear. Like it has to be a very low or no audio experience most of the time, and a lot of games just aren't. They're not built for that. They're not built for the tiny screens. They're not even like trying to play some things I'm playing now are not built for a small screen. So it can be a bit of a pain.
I think, repurpose a lot of the assets and the color scheming and stuff, which I think I'm happy with because it did look good. Honestly, I didn't mind that campaign. I thought I got it. Kind of common sense, but I'm also like deep into the platform, so I knew exactly what they were talking about. A lot of people weren't and didn't. Either way, will we see it return in the future? Maybe. I could see it happening.
They Jump In is like the only one I remember them using a couple of times.
Yeah.
So they'd have something new, but I think it would be a they'll keep the console / PC experience at the heart of it, and then everything else is in addition to.
Yeah. Speaking of, I do hope they're really ready to kind of hammer in that whole this console and the PC and the console. That means some fun marketing.
Yeah, essentially, it's a console that can do what your PC does for games. Yeah. It's not a Windows box that you can. I doubt you're just going to be able to load Windows and have a mouse and keyboard and jump around.
I'm sure people will find a way to do so, right? But that won't be the average person. The average person will be logging in straight into whatever their aggregated game list is. God, I swear, if I see the Steam updating flipping image even once on that damn box, I swear, like, God, I hate Steam so much.
Yeah, well, I'm in a very different situation than most with Steam, where most of the times I'm using Steam, I'm playing beta channels for review, like beta versions, and those run like shit because they are just we're throwing this up, so. Even getting the beta thing working is a pain in the butt, man. You got to go to this setting and then this setting and then deep into this and click this and God. Yeah, the regular Steam experience is fine. It's the when I'm hitting the beta stuff. It's not my favorite. I don't think it's a great interface even on the Steam Deck. It's overwhelming if you have a lot of games. There's just so much there. So I am curious how do they contend with that? If I have my Steam, Epic, GOG, and Xbox libraries, I'm going to have like 3,000 games. How can I sort that?
And they got to obviously make sure the duplicates don't show up or things like that. Honestly, it's going to be pretty fun coding challenge for sure for these guys. Anyways, exciting stuff. Also, I think Jason specifically said we'll get some more information throughout the year. So get ready to keep hearing a little bit more about Helix.
The 25th anniversary. I'm sure they're going to have a lot for it. That's what the potential new back compat news was.
Speaking of, we might get more. So really quick, but the back compat news. The way I read it was him saying essentially we might get it on PC, but people are reading it saying we might get more back compat games. I didn't really like that.
I didn't really like that either, but people can hope, and who knows?
Right? Yeah,
it doesn't mean we won't. But like whenever I've talked to people that would know, they're like, the back compat program ended because we hit the limit with what we could bring. I think they could still bring a lot of COD games, but they don't because then people stop buying them. The only other one I can think of is the original Halo and Halo 2. They never brought those.
Yeah.
Even though they said they would.
And to be honest, it could be like maybe Activision's thinking of remaking this crap, right? Too. So who knows? I was really hoping to get like 20 COD games and just play them all in like 2 weeks or like a week, just back to back. Sadly, that will not happen, but that's okay. Okay, all right, moving forward. Before we get into the next set of news, we're going to have a quick break. We will see you guys after this.
Yes, we will.
This is Console Wars, the card game. Featuring more famous video games than you can shake a stick at, Console Wars finally allows you to win a war you've been fighting and probably losing on the internet your entire life. Quit being a keyboard warrior with the warm embrace of anonymity to protect you. Now you and your friends can fight on the front lines, battling for incredible franchises, exclusivity, and eventual victory. Collect some of the most famous video game franchises of all time. Protect them with loyal and frighteningly dedicated fans. Brave the volatile video game industry and claim the ultimate victory in the console wars. Your favorite video game making mega corporation needs you. Enlist today. Head to consolewarsgame.com. Pick up a copy of Console Wars the card game, outshine your rivals, and prove that your platform reigns supreme. Out now.
Welcome back. We weren't really gone long. Kind of makes it feel like a news channel.
1 minute and 4
It's
seconds,
nice.
I think it is.
Yeah. Wonder, it's like, oh, quick, we gotta do this. We got a minute left to do this. It's fun. I like that. Anyways, moving on, we have a couple more dour stories. First off is a story about Capcom and Mega Man. In a little sadder news, and not necessarily because of the actor, but basically the voice actor for Mega Man 11 is no longer working on the series for Mega Man 12 because Capcom asked him to work without union protections, which he refused. What's interesting is that let me quickly get his name, actually. Sorry, really quick. Ben Diskin is the name of the voice actor. He actually mentions how Capcom told him that, hey, don't worry, we've got the full AI protections in place, blah, blah, blah. But he did not feel comfortable kind of going on their word here and working without the union's essential approval, which I fully understand. I'll be honest. In this day and age,
it's the main concern for voice acting and acting in general is companies just trying to trick you into giving up the only thing you have, which is your looks and your sounds.
Yeah, especially voice acting, because I feel like visual, like Gen AI, oh my god, whatever it's called, Gen AI, for the most part, people have gotten over the where it's like, yeah, this kind of just looks sucky. I don't want it anywhere near my thing. You know what I mean? But voice acting, it's kind of tough. It'll be tough to tell.
The emoting is generally pretty shitty, but like you can trick someone into thinking somebody said a thing. But a lot of times, if it's any type of emotional scene, it's not like Mega Man's known for being deep.
That's the issue, right? In like a TV show or like a movie or something, I'd get it and be like, oh, this is super weird. What is this? But in like a video game, especially a game like Mega Man, where the voice doesn't matter that much and you just hear some guy going, yeah, or a few lines here and there, the average person might not notice. They'll be like, oh, whatever. This is, I don't really care about the voice line, so this doesn't matter to me.
Mario Wonder. It sounded weird as shit.
Mario Wonder has AI.
No, it had a different Mario. He was no longer Charles Martinet.
Oh, yes. That, yes.
And it sounded kind of nasally and weird.
But yeah, no, I fully understand why anyone in that situation is playing it safe for the most part. Also, Capcom, please, just what are you doing? Voice acting is clearly a heavily unionized industry. Do what you need to do. Like, it's Mega Man. It's one of your biggest IPs.
They've been doing great lately, and like Sega had been. Now Sega's in their villain arc. Like everyone eventually who does really well ends up becoming pretty crappy in some way. I saw Sega even wrote like, our game's getting better reviews has not helped in sales. Like, that's the unfortunate truth.
To be fair, they used,
people generally have bad taste. That's why like reality TV is so popular.
Definitely. It's honestly, I'm genuinely a little surprised that RE9 is selling as well as it did. It kind of hit like that.
Perfect timing.
Yeah, right? Like it all just worked out really well for it. Maybe showing a game every friggin' show in existence works. Maybe that's what you need to do to really get people in your minds. Hey, this game's coming out. But yeah, no, this is just another little small sign of how things are happening behind the scenes and the worries that are still there for a lot of the performance part of making video games.
Mm-hmm. Especially because there's so much. I do the acting and the motion capture, but then somebody else is doing the voice and has their face plastered on the model that I acted. Because you saw that a lot with the behind the scenes Resident Evil stuff. It's like there's this woman who's acting as Grace, capturing her face, doing all that, but then the voice actress is her face and her mouth, like her audio coming out of this other person's performance. That was Expedition 33 as well, where
the Halo 5. with lock and yeah.
Funnily enough, Halo Infinite was mostly all of them, which was cool.
Yeah, I
but
really
yeah,
like
there's multiple steps of people who can be taken advantage of with if you don't have the right protections.
We'll see. Continuing the bad news, RAM prices are pretty high, but they could be higher.
Probably will be.
Memory prices could leap even higher as the supply of helium, crucial to making chips, is now impacted by the conflict in the Middle East. Conflict in the Middle East. God, the news still loves using that line. I've been hearing that line my whole goddamn life.
Passive language that doesn't. Yeah.
But yes, essentially, helium is required to make RAM, and a big supply of it comes from various Middle Eastern countries or locations.
Yeah, not the helium itself. It's the oil, and helium is a byproduct of the way oil is used.
Yes, sorry. In general, the part of the process of making the RAM comes from a lot of this. And of course, unless your head is in the ground for the last couple of weeks, there are things happening in this part of the world.
They mined the strait, even though he said don't do that. During this conflict. And the passive voice in news always kills me with died versus were killed.
Yep.
And you know who's going to be killed versus who just died in some way.
Just happened to die. It's just, their life cycle just kind of ran out.
Yeah, but it's just everything's going to be bad, especially because there was no plan, and not to get super political, but it's going to affect all of your prices in your daily life. And in a situation that was already very bad because of demand, now the supply being bad would make it way worse. So
really quick, this is the exact wording. No helium, no semiconductors, says Samsung, SK Hynix, and High Alert Global. Another thing they mention is that in terms of South Korea, Jukan reports that 64% of last year's imports of helium came through Qatar, just one country, and a country that's currently not able to ship really much through the Strait of...
If you want the Western world, you got to say Qatar.
Yeah, right.
It's Qatar. Right? Yeah.
But yeah, no. In general, expect in terms of us, the layman, gas prices will go up, your component prices will go up, your RAM prices will somehow go up even more, even though they've friggin' doubled or something in the last year alone.
It's almost quadrupled for a lot of them or more.
Jesus, holy crap! God, I'm really happy about my PC when I did.
Everything uses RAM. Everything uses NAND in some way, pretty much.
Yeah.
So.
Oh God, yeah. It's. I hope. Actually, I can't even say anything. It is what it is. Welcome to 2026, I guess. All right, moving on. And this one's kind of fun because, so for the last week or so, you've had Prolibus going like, guys, we get it. We're not hiding anything. The console performance for Crimson Desert is there. It's going to be good. Don't worry. We're just been focusing on PC. And they've now released the official specs and, specs, I guess, for PCs and consoles. Let me quickly go through the ones that are important. Let's go. Xbox Series X will have 3 modes: performance, balanced, and quality. Performance is a 60 FPS at 1080p with low ray tracing. Balance is upscaled from 1280 to 4K with 40 FPS. That's nice. I like that. I like my 40 FPS with low ray tracing. And then there's quality, which is again upscaled 4K from 1440 with 30 FPS with high ray tracing. And I believe PlayStation 5 is essentially the exact same thing.
Yeah.
And the PS5,
and then PS5 Pro is the only one that's different, where it is much higher resolution in each mode, and then has ultra ray tracing. It's high ray tracing, ultra ray tracing between performance.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah. Well, it's got newer cores, so it's just way better at it.
What's with the 48 plus FPS VRR thing?
Because PlayStation only goes down to 48 FPS on VRR. It can't do the whole range like Xbox. It's got bad VRR. It gets ignored all the time.
Yeah, that's what I kind of figured it was, but...
Look, I haven't seen most of the stuff in this freaking launch trailer. I'm feeling like I'm being spoiled.
Are you serious? What? Oh, considering I know how long you've been playing this game, that is crazy. So you got to get right back on it after this.
I know. It's one of those things where it's like, I hope the 2.5 weeks was enough. Yeah, I haven't seen almost any of this.
Really quick, for the Series S, there's no upscaling. It's a 720, 1080, 1080. It also has the, only has 2 modes, my bad. 720 and 1080.
30. Yeah.
And 40 and 30 with no ray tracing. I feel like for people who own a Series S, at least the people I've known who have one, they're generally okay with getting 30 FPS in their games.
Well,
as long as
when
is 30.
It was the cheaper box. So
yeah, exactly. Exactly. As long as it's still a solid 1080, then I think I'm okay. Because God, it can look really blurry, if not. But yeah, it's Crimson Desert is releasing in 6 days, roughly. I think it's the 19th.
Yeah, I see Kusanagi saying, I've heard way too much about this game. It just needs to come out or have a demo so people can check it out for themselves. Well, you're in luck. It's out next week.
I'm not telling him to hurry up. He's got more time.
Well, he's in Twitch chat. It won't have a demo. I don't think it's a demo-ish type of game.
No.
But yeah, it is out. It is Play Anywhere. So if you're interested.
This kind of game, for those looking for reviews, I'd be a little careful in terms of how the reviews are. Because games that are this big, right? Games that are this massive. It's really try and find outlets or reviews or maybe even YouTubers who really kind of dive into the whole thing. You know? I feel like I
think my longest review was Starfield at 5,000 words in half an hour.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if this doubles the word count.
That's crazy. That your Starfield review was huge. Holy crap.
Well, I talked about it, and people talk about it in previews, and I talked about it in my preview. There are so many different systems that if I am going to cover all of them, I think it will be unbelievably long.
That makes sense, 100%. Yeah. And dude, even like some normal games where I'll be writing the review, then I'll finish it. I'm like, wait, holy crap, I forgot to talk about this thing and this thing, which I thought were kind of important. But I guess if I didn't mention it, then it is what it is.
I saw it before you deleted it, Sam Frito. I bet you Mortismal cannot 100% this game in time. That's just my guess based on what has been said in preview and pre-launch coverage. Oh, who knows?
Yeah, we'll see. We have some people kind of breaking embargoes already, which
it is killing me. It's like, maybe he was just getting it ready. It's like, no, if you're, he said he was 50 hours in and hadn't beaten it.
Yep.
Why are you making a video? You're not, the embargo is the 18th. Everyone knows it. You don't have to have a video ready now. Like you don't, it was a Spanish YouTuber, I think. Like if you're making the video, you're making it to break the embargo because you will just keep playing and then have a video ready for the embargo. Why would you have one made now that will be out of date that you can't put live until the embargo anyways?
Yeah, it's one thing finishing a game a week and a half early, then okay, I'm going to make my video early because I'm done the game, done the review, everything's done.
Yes, Ray, it is literally all I have been doing since like the 4th. So I will have an unbelievably long, probably, review. It's March 18th, I think 6 p.m. Eastern. If I remember correctly.
Okay. All right.
Exactly one day before it goes live is what I remember them telling us.
Yes, which I'm okay with. I think that's more than enough time for people to kind of get the, hey, is this game for me? Is it not? We'll see. We'll see. Be an interesting week. That's next week.
Yep.
Okay, continuing on. This news kind of surprised me because it came out of nowhere. So last time on the show, we talked about how Epic was increasing their prices for their V-Bucks and essentially increasing the price for their subscription too by reducing the amount of V-Bucks you get in it. And now, if you remember, Fortnite started off with something called Fortnite Save the World, STW, and that is going free to play. April 16th. So
and almost
roughly
a decade.
Yeah, wow. Don't say that.
It's been, I think they said in their press release, it's been 9 years.
Jesus. Oh my God. Yeah, 2017. Yeah, that checks out.
Yeah. The original mode, it was, I mean, it was the original thing and my kids got into it and they liked it.
Holy crap. Dude, I remember seeing a trailer for Fortnite. I think we might have been like a show we were watching together. No, back then we weren't doing it. But like, and going like, what is this weird cartoony thing where you're building walls and there's zombies coming?
Fortnite was not free to play, Trav. It was early access, I believe, and you had to buy a founder's pack for Save the World. And Save the World did okay, not great. It was doing all right, and then they ripped off PUBG real hard and dominated the world. They saved it.
Like even the entire building mechanic was for defending against hordes of zombies and building up a base for it. Yep. Instead, you give some flipping ADD kids on flipping Adderall, and you get 5-star hotels being built in roughly a minute. If that was offensive, I apologize. I don't think it was. Anyways, it's
Slipknot, one of my favorite Slipknot songs, Adderall.
Save the World. Honestly, I'm kind of curious myself because I never actually ended up playing it. So I might give it a shot.
You can't buy it now, but once it goes free to play next month, you can pre-sign up for it for if you really want. They'll give you some shit. And if you already bought it, they'll give you some stuff as well. But I think a lot of people just kind of forgot Save the World existed and probably weren't buying it, which would be my guess as to why they finally made it free to play after all this time.
Yeah, maybe it'll take off like Cucumber says. Cucumber, maybe. Okay, anyways, moving on. This one is a little long, and I kind of skimmed through it a bit, but Valve's just talking a lot. It's all legal speak. Valve responds to the lawsuit against them. Let me see. I went through this already, but essentially they're saying
the lawsuit's dumb, and not that loot boxes are good and that gambling is good, but they tied it into video games harm children's mental health.
Wait, like in
makes
like a
you
general,
violent, like the old
general
GTA bullshit. Yeah, they
come
tied it in,
on.
and Valve's big response is these mechanics are in life more and more. Like, you're just coming after us, and then you're using old rhetoric around video games to try and push it. Because again, the main issue with most people that are in the government is they were the not cool kids at school who wanted power. Like it's ugly Hollywood.
Yeah.
And they generally don't know much about modern tech, and as much as I might appreciate going after gambling, unfortunately most of the world is the goddamn poly market right now. Just
oh god, that's like crazy.
It's horrifying.
I don't understand how gambling in general is still legal.
It's just completely taken over every sport. Like it's ridiculous.
Yep.
But the way they're doing it is just the wrong way. It's very much the FTC going after Microsoft thing, where I appreciate going after consolidation. We knew there was nothing monopolistic about this.
To be fair, they knew too, but they still went for it. That's the part that kind of irritated me. It's like there's so many other things you could have gone for, especially knowing that you might not be in power in a couple of years, right? Like, come on. Anyways, with best case scenario for a lawsuit like this, I feel is just more and more studios or things just kind of moving away from gambling mechanics in the first place.
What sucks is that the loot boxes, when you can earn them for free, like the loot box system in Overwatch was way better than the current system. You have to spend, so I didn't put it in there, but they have a Yorha collab, so near Automata. If you want to buy it all, it's like $80. In the old system, you would have been able to play like a maniac, earn a ton of loot boxes, and have a pretty good chance of getting some of it. Like, that's how it used to be.
No, it's in certain games like HOTS, Heroes of the Storm, they had only purchasable skins, and then at one point they added in loot boxes, and then after that, I suddenly had skins for all of my champions. Like 2 weeks later, I'm like, okay, I never had any of these before. I had to buy them before, so I didn't want to. No, there's obviously a balance. The industry, or not the industry, the online narrative went way too hard against loot boxes. Oh, they're the worst. They're this, that, blah, blah, blah.
It's like they're
and now
bad,
we're here with the battle pass.
You also didn't go after the worst offender, which is the essentially money laundering operation that it feels like Counter-Strike has always been.
Yep.
Like, and that's why I was happy to see them go after Valve, because Counter-Strike is insanely popular, and a large reason for that is it's like a job for people, and they just play to earn shit and then sell it, and there's billions of dollars in that every year. Like, it's crazy how big it is. It's
crazy. It's I guess we'll see. Maybe we'll still get something out of the lawsuit depending on how it goes, but if they're throwing crap in the wall, like, violence is bad for, like, come on guys, come on. Apparently, Major Nelson is now at Commodore 64.
Yeah, he said it's not his full-time job, but it's a side thing where he's going to be.
Commodore 64 was like an old console, right?
Yeah, and they brought it back with a really cool little, like, new retro-looking device.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. All right, good for him. Yeah. But yeah, no, let's see how this lawsuit goes. Like all lawsuits, this will be a multi-year process. So don't expect anything really recent or new. All right, slow. In relatively good news, indie fund Outersloth has rejected every generative AI pitch it has received. Roughly around... So basically, they're saying that they reject about 50% of the pitches they receive from devs, which makes sense, yeah. These are the Among Us guys, right?
Yep, Among Us? Outersloth was their development name. Yeah. They made, after making bajillions of dollars with Among Us, they made Outersloth to just throw money at projects they thought were pretty cool.
That's cool. That's really cool. So they're essentially giving back to the industry.
We're making a card game, by the way, Outersloth, if you watch this. Right? Just want to throw, I don't know, if I have no idea what the budget is, so like, I don't know, 250
maybe
grand,
we should,
4 million.
We should send them like a physical copy of this. We should tell John. But anyways, these guys say that around 30% of their rejected pitches, so 30% of the 50%, have Gen AI inside of them. I mean, I've already mentioned before, but generative AI, that's not it. It's not going to be the future. I'm sorry. I think at this point, the people have kind of spoken where we just dislike it, right? Gen AI photos are extremely obvious because they all train on this, and they're training on each other, so it becomes even more and more obvious.
There's a real, what's the name of the one?
Self-feedback loop or something like that?
No, one of the main ones that people are using a lot. God damn it, I can't remember the name of it now. One of the main...
You mean to make stuff?
Yeah, one of the main generative AI ones.
Starts with a D.
What
it was
are
huge.
the main
oh my God.
AI image creators?
Displayed. Source.
There's Dolly. You know what Dolly looks like. Midjourney is the one that a lot of people were using.
Midjourney was the one that started it all, but
yeah.
Discourse, what was it called? Oh my God.
Yeah, there's like Stable Diffusion. There are different ways, and like that's
diffusion. That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Stable Diffusion was one of the big ones where you could really tell. They have a look.
Yep.
Grok has its look where it will just take clothes off of people. So like there's always a look. Though I guess technically they stopped that. Though you can still get Grok to just like call people the worst shit imaginable.
Oh yeah. Though interestingly, Grok is now only for paid users, even asking you questions. I noticed that a couple of days ago. When the best times of Grok is when someone like in a Twitter thread is trying to get it to like be like, hey, these guys are stupid, this is wrong. And Grok's like, no, they're right.
Yeah,
they're right.
But then eventually he'll go in and change the thing to make it. So it's like, oh yeah, no, actually they're woke. But yeah, it's the sentiment against AI, and I saw people on different threads around horrible forums being like, "Oh, you notice they called everything machine learning on the Project Helix?" I was like, "Because that's what it always was. It was always machine learning. It's just the big execs, and especially like Sam Altman, and then just called everything AI. Like everything's AI, and to the point where AI doesn't mean anything anymore."
Yep. So you can generate terrain in UE5 with a click of your button. That must be generative AI.
They've been generating the maps in the Elder Scrolls series since the first one. Like,
yeah, that's crazy.
Procedural generation has been a thing for a very, very long time. Like, what do you think Speed Tree is? It's not somebody going in and painting every tree.
It's so interesting because like when I pull an image off of whatever to find a logo. Let's say I can't find a logo for a game, right? Or I got to remove a logo from a key art. That's actually a pretty common thing where they just refuse to give me the goddamn key art for a video game without the logo smack dab in the corner or something. I grab that and I use Photoshop to remove it. And you know how Photoshop does it? It uses some form of what they call AI. I don't think it's NLM or Gen AI or anything like that. It's just their thing.
Yeah, it's machine learning to be able to extend a scene or chop, but that's generating when it's extending. But the tool set is fine. It's always how you use it that sucks. And a lot of shitty people are using it real bad, like using old targeting data and blowing up schools. It always depends on how you use the tool. And I 1000% understand people not trusting shitty companies with them. I'm right with you.
100%. I fully get it too. That being said, being blanketly against any AI is stupid, and it will not work well for you if you look at the word AI somewhere and you go, oh, I'm out. I'm never playing any game that has any kind of AI used on it. Okay.
Hope you didn't like God of War Ragnarok.
Okay, all right. And finally, to end off, actually, no, we have a couple here.
It's the same thing. They giveth and they taketh.
Yes, you're right. First, PlayStation has a couple good games for their PS Plus. They're adding Space Marine 2 and Persona 5 Royale, but really quick. I swear I thought they already had Persona 5 Royale before. I thought it was in PS Plus.
It launched into Game Pass, so I think this is finally joining there.
No, but PS Plus, Persona 5 Royale was already on PS Plus or something, or PS Network. Or was it just
so? It might be. So there's a PS5 version. So you get the old PS5 and PS4, and then there's a complete PS5 edition that are listed in there. So I don't know, maybe they had the original and now they have the extra. It's definitely not what, and there's a reason companies hate leaks, because when they're wrong, and everyone was thinking they were going to get Final Fantasy 16 and Dragon's Dogma 2 this month, and those weren't real. That did not happen.
Were the leaks?
That was the leak for PS Plus. It's like, holy shit, they're going all out. What a crazy month. It's like, no, it's still a good month. Space Marine 2 is amazing. but you tend to see a lot of old Game Pass games in there because companies are in there. We are willing to take a deal for your subscription service phase with that game. So that's why it will feel like, oh, this is already on PS Plus. Okay, of course, now it's on Game Pass, and vice versa. More in the Game Pass.
Yep.
Because Game Pass ends up getting more lately. PS Plus added a ridiculous amount when they, or they had like over 700. It was like 800 when they did the change on tiers and pricing. And they're down, I think they're below 500 now.
Yeah.
It's still fine. Like if you're catching up and you don't have FOMO, it's perfectly fine.
Yeah. If you don't have Game Pass, PS Plus is not bad. Is how I've seen it. Like for a while I had both, and I'd go through the whole list, and I'm like, yeah, I've already played this, already had this, had access to this 2 years ago, didn't play it then, won't play it now. Like,
yeah, like my kid has it on his account because he plays online and he doesn't want to lose his saves, which is the shittiest part about NSO and PS Plus. Is it's the only, like my Breath of the Wild save's gone.
I had to goddamn grab a USB drive on my PS5 when I trade my PS5 and plug it in, take it out, and then Google for like an hour, like, okay, can I do this again? And I had to go to a system within a system because they're trying to prevent you from doing this simple USB save transfer.
Yeah,
they want you to have two PS5s on the same network.
And I think they'll make it harder in the future because they've talked about trying to maximize the amount of money they get from people.
Like genuinely, they were making it more difficult. And the PS4 was simple. USB, you transfer whatever. I had to like go to like 3 different menu systems and click buttons, which I didn't think would make sense for this, to eventually find that menu again.
It's like, very much like Apple. When you're used to it, it just works or the UI is fine thing. But if you're trying to learn the PS5 UI, like I've been trying to relearn it lately, it's not intuitive at all.
Not at all. Not at flipping.
Xbox is decently intuitive. It's rather, if you used it at all since 2013, you should know it. But yeah,
you know, with Xbox, it's what I in general UIs, I look at the setting as to be like, okay, how useful are you, right? How well laid out are you? The settings page, Xbox's settings page, for the most part, makes sense. Preferences, account, system, what you expect to be will be where you expect it to be. Sony's is just a giant flipping scroll down menu. Half the crap is not where you expect it to be at all, but I guess it was in the past, so they keep it where it is.
Getting the DHCP turned off so that I could actually use my capture card was... it's weird. If you're used to it, you're used to it. It's not a big problem. You're like, what the hell are these guys talking about? But and I think that's a big thing when people talk about, well, Xbox is just going to lose everyone to PlayStation for, getting Wolverine and shit. It's like, no, I think the exclusives get someone to buy a console for the exclusives. But having to relearn it and potentially rebuild an entire library is why you end up having both. Like I have my kid's PlayStation here just for the only for things that are on there. Like when the lovely Kevin S got me this thing is used for Donkey Kong and Mario Kart, and it'll be used. It was going to be used for Pacopia, but they never sent us one. Sadly,
never sent nothing.
That game's doing great, by the way. 2.2 million sales for Pacopia.
Yeah. Holy crap, good stuff, man. And Pokemon is Pokemon. Goddamn.
It's Dragon. I really love Dragon Quest Builders 2 when it let me play.
Yes.
Like it was an amazing.
Holy crap, those cutscenes. Oh my god.
And having to rebuild and restart constantly was driving me insane.
Oh yeah. That was
but yeah, Pacopia is essentially like Dragon Quest
Honestly,
Builders 3.
I'm debating just picking it up because I need a game to play on my Switch too, and I love DQ Builders 2. Like,
I'm gonna ping their PR again and see if they can just get us one, but I'm guessing no at this point.
What was I gonna say? I don't know if Sony makes money off of me, I'll be honest. Because like I only play their console once every like 4 or 5 months, if that. Otherwise, it just sits on my TV, kind of literally collecting dust. I should dust it again. Looks cool though. It's the Ghost of Tsushima one. Speaking of, the Legends came out. I think I have not played it.
People really like it. They really like the first one. So
yeah, no, it makes sense. Okay, and finally, still talking about Sony. They, as we said, they give it and they also take it. Sony is testing dynamic sales, which is okay, but also price increases.
But yeah, that second part that people found was like, oh shit.
That's kind of crazy to me. So if I understand it correctly, Jesse, it's a game will be on sale, right? Let's say, but for certain people, and rather than showing the full sale price, it'll show $3, $4, $5 more than the sale price, or like a worse sale.
Yeah, if you spend more, I think you don't get as big a discount, is how I read it. Could be wrong, but also. Crazy. For some people, the base price was increased of not on sale. It was like $3
That's insane.
More. Yeah.
That's genuinely insane.
And this is all
what
people figuring it out because none of it's been announced or talked about by Sony. It's all just people starting to realize, hey, I saw this sales price and I logged in and it was nowhere near as cheap. And it's people who were like, this is my platform. I've got a 250 games. And so when I logged in, I got way worse sales because
what the hell? It's like when you search for a flight, you should just want an incognito tab, right? Because those flight prices are dynamic too.
Like, I guess the Xbox equivalent is the For You sales, which are just but they're massive discounts.
Yeah.
Who knows what the algorithm is? It could be shitty.
I like the For You sales. Yeah. Like, I've bought stuff off the For You. I think to this day, I have the entirety of Borderlands, $40 right now, Canadian, for me. And it's just sit there. It's like, I know you want to buy me eventually. I don't. I've already owned every Borderlands game. I don't need to buy them all, like, in one bundle, guys. But, like, if I like the concept of dynamic sales, personally. And by that, I mean, like, let's say, for example, I'm playing through the Resident Evil series, right? And the game realizes, hey, listen, you've played through like 7 games. You don't own this one yet. Let's put it on a discount for you, right? And maybe kind of incentivize you to purchase the game. That makes a lot of sense. And that's where, LLMs could be used relatively interestingly.
One of the best things about Steam, when you own a game that's in a bundle, you don't have to rebuy it. You get the bundle for that game removed. Yeah. It's really good.
That is probably one of the best features of Steam store, for sure.
I own Slay the Spire, and there's a Slay the Spire 2 and Slay the Spire bundle, which would get me 2 way cheaper.
Really?
Yeah, it was like $4 or $5
I'm waiting
off.
for... Speaking of, Slay the Spire also is absolutely flipping killing it, which we all expected. I cannot believe... Jesse, when you were watching that event, I don't know what it was, TGA or...
It was one of the smaller ones, and it ended it, and it was like, we both popped off, and most people in gaming coverage didn't give a shit. And it's like you don't realize how big this game is, guys.
Yeah. Anyways, dynamic sales is an interesting concept, assuming they reduce the price and don't raise it. That is, I feel like, the baseline.
If the base sale is 25% off, if you say, for this person, I'm going to make it 50, but everyone gets at least 25. But instead, it's
exactly. That's
we're
cool.
showing you 25, but if you buy a lot of games when you log in, it's actually 10. Like, that sucks.
That's crazy. And no, Xbox does not do the whole discount if you already own the thing yet. I know that because I just bought a bunch of Resident Evil games. And I would have bought like the deluxe editions for games that I already owned if like they did that, but they didn't. So I'm like, okay, whatever.
It's like, I swear to God, last time I went in, I owned Silent Hill 2 and Silent Hill F because I reviewed them. So I own them, but I still think I could buy the bundle that has them both.
Yeah, it's super weird because they consider like a separate SKU or something. There are games where I own where I'm like,
but then like within this bundle SKU, I own the games. Let me see, does it still show it? Check real quick.
It's very interesting. I do hope they work on that, which they are clearly working on. A lot of things.
And by the way, if you like Silent Hill 2 because it hit over 5 million players lifetime, I can buy this fucking bundle, even though I own both games. It's so weird. If I click the game, it then says, I'm saying I don't own Silent Hill F now. That's weird.
Maybe not that version of it. Because there's that's why
I reviewed it on PC in one day. That's why.
But
it's not sense. I own Silent Hill 2, but if I want to buy the bundle that's on sale for $60, I don't get like half off because I own Silent Hill 2. That's the cool thing that Steam does.
Yes.
Like exactly. I bet you if I go on Steam, Silent Hill F, and I look at a bundle this game is in. Oh God, I got to put my age even though I'm not logged in. God damn you, Steam. Never mind.
Steam is the worst.
Bro, always log me out.
You got to go to email. You got to forget MFA. Like
I'm opening the actual Steam app. Hopefully this doesn't hide you. Boop, boop. I'd show it on screen, but then it would show what I've been playing, and they get weird. Silent Hill F shows in my library. If I look up the dual pack bundle, does this show me? Oh, you know what? Never mind. It's not discounting the bundle for me. Even though I own Silent Hill F. What a...
Interesting.
I take everything back I said. It just says add to cart 99. Let me see.
Add to cart. The Slay the Spire 2 bundle.
Yeah, no, it just says if you will not receive an extra code, $100. Well, screw you. You sometimes with the bundles actually give the friggin' discount. Like if I do Slay the Spire bundle, that's the one that was up there.
Yeah, the collection. I see it. Yeah, 37% off because I already own the first game. Yeah. But still more expensive, interestingly.
Yeah,
does it have more than just the bundle? No,
everyone has their issues.
Yeah.
Oh, I got an email. I forgot. I got my...
I don't own the Slay the Spire on Steam. That's why. Okay, that makes sense.
This is the 2026 gold medal, or 2025 gold medal for our Extra Life. I just want to say thanks to everyone. It means we broke $1,000. So we've got 5 now, 1 silver and 4 golds because you guys are
Wow.
nuts. So lots of medals back here, and they're all earned by our community, who donated a ridiculous amount of money. I think it was well over $2,000 the last 2 years, which got where is it? Damn it, it's hidden. There is a controller right there.
Oh yeah.
So that's the Extra Life controller. Oh, and there's this really cool bag, which the missus decorated. Little shoulder bag that's all for pins.
Oh,
and
that's
so she
cool.
put all her pins on it, including
Okay, you know what?
including that guy. So don't yell at us
Jesse,
about
speaking-
politics.
Oh, that's funny. Speaking of bags, Jesse, I might ask either you or John to bring like a small little backpack with you guys in June, because I'm likely still traveling with a tiny little laptop
The only
case.
backpack I have is my LTT commuter bag.
Oh yeah, that's huge. Okay.
It's not that big. It's a commuter bag, so it's not huge. It's just built around bringing tech with you, so it's perfect.
That's fair. That's fair. And I used one of those. Anyways, okay. And that is it for the news for the last couple. It's literally 2 days, guys. 2 days. Keep checking out the Xbox channel. Keep checking out Xbox Wire and
I think
more
John's
tweets
back
and
for the
stuff like that.
podcast. I don't know.
Yeah, I was actually about to ask that. He should be, right? Because I am in Toronto Saturday, so I won't be able to join if needed. Yeah, my sister's wedding is in like a week and a half, and we have not really prepped much. So we gotta go to the hall and get some stuff done. Okay, guys. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. This was Headlines for March 12th, 2026. And check back in this Saturday for more of us. Have a great day, guys.
No. Bye.